Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I know what you're thinking, what in tarnations is this spreadsheet in front of me? Well, this is all the hidden values behind Darktide that myself and many other players had no idea existed. This was data mined about a week ago and put on Reddit. Someone took the time to make this lovely table to make it easier for us to read it. And the link below to the original Reddit post with the raw values and the link to this is in the description below. But the key thing that I want to say is this really changes my understanding of the classes. I know I made a video just the other day, I think it came out 2 days ago, that was how classes I liked about Darktide, what to recommend for new players. And I didn't address a lot of these issues that are here in this data that I didn't know about. I recommended Ogryn as the best starting class, and while I think that's still true, if you look at these values, Ogryn had the most health, but Ogryns don't benefit whatsoever from sliding, dodging, or sprinting. So it might seem like new players that those mechanics are useless, which is something that I had not considered. I thought sliding, I think I said it in the video. I thought sliding wasn't as effective for Ogryns because they were so big, you were still getting hit, and I thought the sliding just made it harder for the shots to land. I didn't realize there was like literal damage reductions for the psych or the veteran. And for the zealot, it's a huge damage reduction. Additionally, I talk about dodging. I didn't know that if you dodge, you take less damage. I thought, dodging just made it where the attack didn't land, which is true. If you dodge well and the attack doesn't land whatsoever, of course you're going to take 0 damage, which is better than a damage reduction in general. But I didn't know that. Like, veterans and Ogryn hit nothing for dodging. That's a newsflash to me. Sprinting, also, you take more damage unless you're a zealot or an Ogryn. Ogryn take the same amount of damage no matter what, and zealots take less damage, but freaking veterans take 200% more damage for sprinting, which is wild to me. Because if you need to readjust, because you can't shoot through your teammates, right? So if you're shooting and you have like an Ogryn in front of you, you might need to sprint to get a better angle to shoot at them. And with the fact that the enemies spawn all around you, it's really difficult for you to, set up in one spot unless you know where the spawn points are on the map. I don't really think that that's super fair to the veteran players. Taking double damage for while you're running. You would think running, away from fire or across a plane would make you take less damage because you'd be harder to hit. And for it to be the opposite is wild to me. Additionally, veterans get the most recovery of toughness on melee kills. What? Why do they get 25% more than the melee classes? That's weird. I was just talking about in my video that, you have to be really careful and with veterans in melee, but it turns out they get more per kill than anyone else does, which is also weird. Of course, stamina. We're not surprised the melee classes start with more stamina. I didn't realize this, but apparently, certain classes run faster while having no stamina. News flash to me makes sense that the melee classes would run a little bit faster while out of stamina. Sure, that's fine. I thought, the sprint speed was the same for everybody, and then just because they had more stamina than me, they were running, with the stamina longer, so that's why they were faster than me. Didn't realize that their base speed with no stamina was also faster than me. Kind of an interesting little thing. I think it makes sense for, the melee people so they can close distance. That's fine. I didn't realize like how far you dodge changes on your class. I just thought dodging was dodging. In fact, I always thought that Ogrins dodge the same amount as everyone else because when you dodge as an ogre, it doesn't really feel like you go very far. And then when you dodge as like a normal person, it feels like you go super far. And I figured that was just because I was so big that I wasn't really noticing it as much. But turns out they dodge more than the other classes, and I still feel like I'm moving less far. So I don't know, man. I don't. Once you've gotten the chance to look through this, and if you've played the game and you want to put your thoughts on these hidden values and how that changed your perspective of these classes, check that in the comments below. I think some of you who may main other classes than I, like Psyker, I kind of, I guess, realized sliding and dodging made me take less damage. That's why I was doing it a lot. I didn't realize that other classes didn't get that benefit. The fact that Ogryn didn't get it at all was a big surprise to me. Maybe if you play veteran or you play zealot and you're realizing that, oh, the reason why certain things are happening to me is because of these hidden values I had no idea about. put that in the comments below because, yeah, I mean, I was telling people stuff about this game based on mainly playing Psyker and assuming that, the 50% slide thing was universal, and then I find out that Okrand don't get it at all and Zealots get a super version of it. That really changes, fundamentally what you would tell new players, and I wish this information was a little bit easier to access, which is why I'm making a video about it, because if you're like me and you've been playing for God knows how long, and you didn't know about these, that really could change your play style for your main class. And then when you're doing the really hard difficulties, ranged gunfire is brutal. And if you're playing a veteran and you're sprinting, or you're playing a psyker and you're sprinting and you're just getting got, that's something important to know. I wouldn't have inherently thought that sprinting would make me take more damage, and mainly when I'm getting hit from while sprinting, it's from gunfire. That's a big change. You have to sprint to slide, so, yeah, I don't know. I know this is all just strange to me. It's really different. I'm gonna try to improve my playstyle using this information, and hopefully this information will be helpful to you all as well. Thank you for watching.